And now, VMM Vegan Music Maker News with your host, Gino Murillo.
Hey, duckies, I'm Plucky. You a fine-looking group, y'all. We got another celebration. Hi, everyone. Gino Murillo here, and I'm so excited to be here again for this summary show. We have 13 wonderful, wonderful pieces of music that were submitted for this month of September. And now this also marks 11 months we've had an actual music celebration on VMM. So that's pretty dang good, right? So next month is 1 year. And also this month we only had 4 categories. We're kind of mixing things up and experimenting as we go. So hopefully you're okay with that, and we will see where we go in the future. We've got a lot more to come. So like with previous summary shows recently, I want to keep this as quick and as short as I can so I can get everyone in and I can keep you here with me and hold your attention. I'm going to do my best, but it's worth staying because all of these nuggets of Gino wisdom and Gino compassion and feeling are so vital for you, for me, for the world. I'm Gino. I am legendary. That's so true. Okay, so also one other ask is that at the end of this video, you know, when you go to a movie theater and you see a cool movie and then, you know, you want to hurry up and get to your car or whatever and get out of the theater with all these mobs of people there. So you might even leave it slightly early, or as soon as the credits starts rolling, you go. Well, this is one of these videos where you want to stick around because the credits at the end are so amazing, and they are so, you're going to learn the crack team that put this video together. Amazing, amazing people. So stay with us. All right, so without further ado, let's go right into this. Category 1 is newly released original. And once again, we have Lori Lopez and the Fairy Flies, which are Raphael and Noel Lopez. And this live video performance was originally from 1993, but they updated it and everything, so it's new and newly released. For me, this is a song about practicing common decency in our communications with one another, an art that seems long lost in anywhere from social media to TV to movies to songs, and now even in public with one another. We just get so wrapped up in our own reality, judgments, and beliefs. Just a little bit of the lyrics here. Everywhere there's angry people, silent curses in their eyes, faces scowling without reason, full of sourness inside, like a parade of ordinary, wretched, wrathful, stubborn, spiteful, mean, and grumpy ants. We all get mad in haste and speak before we think that what we said is going to last. If we could learn to feel each other's pain, perhaps we'd think again. Perhaps we'd understand, and the anger would go away. The anger would go away. Sometimes we make mistakes, but I believe there is good in everyone. Instead of fighting with each other, we should fight who we have become. Wonderful words, and I am so with that. Especially in today's society. Oh my God, we have some growth to happen. Okay, so on to the next song. And this is a first-time entry for Bill Bedouin. Bill, welcome. And he has a song called She's Not Your Mother. And this is a powerful headbanger rock song with great vocals and moving video, and was dedicated to 2 women, animal liberationists, Jill Phipps and Regan Russell, who were both run over by a lorry and a slaughterhouse truck, respectively, while protesting for animal rights in a peaceful way. Jill in 1995 and Regan as recently as this year were killed. Bill, you really nailed this with your music and vocals and the video, a perfect trio of art. As an animal liberationist myself, this touched me, and due to the fact it was in honor of these 2 extremely courageous women that made this all the more potent. This song brings us to light once again that justice must indeed be highly hailed and attained for both human and non-human animals. Thank you, sir. Next song up is Barbara and Nate, The Repressions, and the song is Starlight Golf Course, just recently released. Okay, this may be, maybe, my favorite Repression song yet. I'm not sure, because I like a lot of them. The intimate poetry and love in the lyrics, the harmonies, the soft and alluring sound, and acoustic guitar chords are all beautiful. This may be just my experience, but it took me back to early Simon and Garfunkel tunes, which I loved dearly back then. Now, as a side note here, you know how YouTube goes on to the next tune once the tune is over that you're listening to? And I wasn't looking at my computer, so all of a sudden, there was Diana Ross and the Supremes singing, "Where Did Our Love Go?" Nothing against them, but talk about breaking a mood. We love you, Repressions. Thank you once again for submitting. We love it. Next, we move to category 2, conscious activism music. This submission can be a cover or an original with subject related to animal ag, capitalism, environmentalism, sexism, racism, homophobia, government systems, warfare, and much more. The first submission is Meat is Murder, which was a cover of The Smiths by 1Q94, submitted by our wonderful friend Aldo. This is a metal cover of this song, and of course, part of The Smiths was the very famous Morrissey, who is a vegan. The Smiths put this out in 1985, and thank you, 1Q94, for making me aware of this. Amazing song, and 1Q94 nailed it in their own version with a very strong video approach, and of course, crack musicianship and powerful metal vocals. Some lyrics here done in raw power and anger, as only a vegan metal band like 1Q94 would say, "Kill, eat, murder. Kill, eat, murder. The meat in your mouth as you savor the flavor. Murder!" And boy, do they emphasize that with their metal sound. I can still hear this in my head. The song only tells the bottom line, the truth. Thank you, 1Q94. Thank you. Next up is Whistles and Blinders by Joe Deere. Our dear and talented friend returns to the VMM celebration with a song ripe with truth-telling, using his music and lyric writing alongside his distinctive voice. I'm a big fan of Joe. I, and likely a number of you, can relate to these lyrics. Check this out. If it's your turn, but you don't know what you want and where to go, is there free space left for moving? Is this your cage you look at? Art tells the viewer. You become the observer, and you know. When days turn all into strange days, while the crowd puts on their silly blinders, you didn't change a bit, not a little thing. They cannot turn you even if they want to, and you know. We're sinner and doubters, pulling drawers from counters, when freedom was token, when law got all broken for poor misconceptions, forced disconnections, and you know. While the globe spins all in the opposite direction, feels like cutting us off from our powers, weed out the last wild flowers to replace them with white towers, and you know. When days turn all into strange days, while the crowd keeps bells, whistles, and blinders, you didn't change a bit, not a little thing. They can hurt you, but they cannot turn you, and you know. They can hurt you, but they cannot turn you, and you know. I agree. Joe, thank you for that powerful message and song, and great singing as well. Next up is Evolved Man, and this was submitted by me. It's a cover of a ZZ Top song from the 1980s, which was then entitled Sharp Dressed Man. I had the idea to do this cover a year ago, as I felt it could create a unique approach in lyrics for a song that speaks to men on this planet to evolve, because as we know, they collectively destroy so much overtly and in the systems they largely run. As we know, is perpetually sick, really. Thanks to Dave, the vegan crooner Jardina, for the video. I told him that I envisioned volcanoes for the film clips. It just came to me, and he took it from there, and boy, did he ever expand on that idea. Beautiful job. Thank you, Dave. And speaking of Dave, he also had a submission of his own here, and it's called Answer Me, from a Broadway musical, The Band's Visit. Dave covers this song from this musical by David Yazbek. The melody of this song is beautiful, albeit being sad, tragic, and longing, as Dave put together video clips of the tragedy of the dairy industry that includes a lot of what mama cows and their babies experience. I know a few short years ago, Dave and I stood outside one of these farms with other activists in witness to all of this up in the San Francisco Bay Area during a demonstration. Dave's singing is quite spot on, and I thank him for putting another dent in human brains in his typical effective fashion to make everyone wake up to all of this. Thank you, Dave. Next up is Regan's Song by Scarlet Rescue. This new original song that premiered recently by this Arizona band about the courageous and callously killed Regan Russell, who I mentioned just a little bit ago. And of course, Regan was an animal liberation activist with the Save movement and at one of their vigils. This tragedy happened right outside a slaughterhouse where she was literally run down by a truck carrying pigs to slaughter. By all accounts, this was a deliberate murder by the truck driver. The song points out the travesty that occurred with footage showing animals she and others were fighting for. Song well done and powerful point made. We send our love in the memory of Regan. Thank you, Scarlet Rescue. You did this for justice and love. That is very evident. Thank you. Next up, we have Sophia Fletcher, our wonderful Australian friend, who submitted a song, Play for the Planet, Climate Change, New York City. I regard Sophia as quite knowledgeable, not only about music, but music-related subjects. And further proof of this is this song, which is part of this climate music project. She plays acoustic guitar with a nice riff, and her lyrics describe how she would like to see the planet now and forever. She reminds us not to forget how important healing all this is. I know in her message, this is a high priority vibe, and well, it should have that vibe. Thank you, Sophia, once again, and please continue contributing to this celebration each month and in all the ways you show support for VMM and its members. Star member here. Next up, another first-time submitter, Darren Mark Edwards, who submitted the song, Don't Kill Them. This is Darren's first celebration entry, so welcome. Darren is a one-man machine with this song as he created the music, the lyrics, did the vocals, played all the instruments, and produced this himself. Now, no, I'm not jealous. No, I'm not jealous. Okay. Oh, and by the way, in addition to YouTube, his music is on a ton of other platforms if you want to check him out further. The clever video with this song shows him playing each instrument interspersed with photos of animal ag practices. The lyrics bring light to those practices plus the mindset of those who still ingest the bodies of animals, inclusive of their denial and unwillingness to see what's up. Well done all around, Darren. Thanks again for being in the celebration, and we look forward to much more. And as to your lyrics, you indicated you hope everyone would like the lyrics, and I will say, from my standpoint, I loved them, just so you know. So, welcome to our celebration. Thank you. Then we go to category 3, which is original songs, but they're not newly released. The first one we have is Frequency of Love, Club Mix Part 2 by Shahin. We had Part 1 in the last celebration. Once again, as in Part 1 from last month, Shahin delivers a dance song set with love that I suddenly had a fantasy of where all the VMM members were together for one giant dance party celebrating human and animal liberation. Hey, it could happen, it could happen. Quite the fantasy. I'm confounded on how the Betty Boop animation could so often fit the lyrics of the song. The animation for many cartoons back then was simply brilliant and fluid and entertaining, and it's a perfect fit. Thanks for sharing the upbeat vocals, music, and message of love in your music. Now, let's go party on it. Okay. Oh, wait, no, I got to finish the show first. Okay, here we go. And then the second entry in this category is Spaces with Love by Gemma Haley. I think this is Gemma's second time in the celebration. Gemma prefaced her post for this live version of her song by saying, I may not have the money to record, but thankfully writing is free. Love it, Gemma. And yes, indeed, at least some precious things remain free, and we are very glad you shared your singing, songwriting abilities with us again in the form of this traditional, heartfelt, and yearning love song. In listening, I took upon myself a possible interpretation from this that the person in this song connected with someone online on the computer screen and that they wanted to be real, actual, in-person, real love. If my interpretation has credence, I can say that it's a valid sentiment as whether it's about romantic love or friendship for most of us, we like to think that that person we are connecting with online is just what we hoped they would be if we ever meet them in person. Thanks, Gemma, for your lovely singing and songwriting again. We definitely look forward to more. Thank you. And then we go to the last category, category 4, instrumentals. The first song is Mystery of Love by Sufjan Stevens. That's a cover by Michael Kaufner, who once again came through with another wonderful submission. I could go on and on about Michael's piano work and his good taste and choice of compositions to play. Michael, this was a beautiful rendition of Stephen's song, and I appreciate the film clips used from the movie Call Me By Your Name, a love story between two young gay men bringing home for any doubters that love can run deep and be just as real as in any non-gay relationship. Stephen's is one of my favorites because the music is pure honesty and full of soul. Michael, you portrayed this very nicely in this month's submission. Need I say, we look forward to more of your pieces in the future. Thank you, Michael. And then our last but not least submission, and it's the second in instrumentals, is by Jen Audioed, and I'm so sorry, Jen, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but this is her first submission, and she's a pretty new member, and the name of the song is Cyber Spaceship, Exorcista plus Volta. This is new member Jen's first submission, as I mentioned, and her music takes us far away on a deep journey. Her alluring dreamlike sound and haunting vocals are of the kind that one must sit back, put the headphones on, and chill away. It's the kind of song that takes time and attunement. That's yet another approach to music that I find highly valid, and I totally appreciate it. Thank you, Jen, for participating with us so quickly after becoming a new member. I really love that. Thank you so much. So, folks, those are all the submissions for the month of September. Thank you for watching, and thank you big time to all of you that participated. And we hope that you will share these songs on your Facebook pages or other places if you wish. We're going to put them in the comments below after this is launched, this video. Thank you. I love you very much. Just peace and love and compassion and all that good stuff. And please keep creating. We need creativity, we need it in music, and we need it to say something good to help this planet. Thank you. Bye now.